Hey guys, it's John here, your favorite YouTuber, and you get this, get this at a better angle. That's not really a better angle. Well, whatever. I'm hoping y'all watch this for more than just my beauty because it's dark and my hair's a mess because it's weighted. But I want to talk today about everybody's favorite topic, racism. I don't want to talk about it, but I have a point to make. So, there's this guy, tell y'all a story, and he moved to a neighborhood where he was the only person of his skin color, and everywhere he went, people said, "You lost, bro? What are you doing?" Or they would, "What are you doing around here? You need help getting back to where you're supposed to be?" Or, well, this angle is bothering me. Whatever. But yeah, or they would be like, they'd be a little less friendly. They'd be like, "Get the fuck out of my neighborhood." And then there's this lady on the bus in that same neighborhood, and every single day, she says, people tell her, go back to her home country. Get the hell out of here. What you doing on my bus? And it's just so racist and horrible. And the guy goes to the store and they call him racial slurs. He's hanging out with a friend of a different color and they say, "What the hell are you doing hanging out with this guy of a different race?" And it's just racism abound, right? What everybody thinks America is all about. There's just racism and shit everywhere. So let me tell you something else. The guy is me, and he's white. You probably thought he was black, didn't you? He's white, and he lived in, and I lived several years back in a black neighborhood. Yeah, everywhere I went, every day, at least one time, get the fuck out of here. Had people throw shit at me. Not everybody was, racist against white people, but it was really common, right? And the lady on the bus, now I have a special relationship with Asians because I speak a few Asian languages, and considering I was the only non-black person on the bus, she probably felt that she could talk to me without being insulted. They told this woman, she was Malaysian, this old ass lady, every day, go back to China. She said, "I'm not from China." Now, she did look kind of Chinese, and Malaysia has a lot of Chinese people, but I doubt these people on the bus knew that. She didn't even speak Chinese. She spoke Malaysian or something. And yeah, so they told her, every day, get the fuck out of here, get out of my country, go back to China. They told me, get the fuck out of my neighborhood. They told my best friend who was black. Well, said it in front of me. Not just my best friend, like, there's a few friends. I mean, I lived with a lot of people, and about half of them were black, and it's a black neighborhood. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and only hang out with my own color, but they would tell them they was being a traitor for hanging out with me. And, of course, there was the faggot word thrown around a lot, too, because me and my good friend were both gay, and at the time, he was a little bit more noticeably gay than I am, but I mean, some people can tell about me as well. And where do I go? I'm gonna turn in here? No, I'm gonna go up there to the right. So I'm in Maryland, y'all. Maryland people are friendly as hell. Blows the racist white narrative out the water. Gotta turn left, I guess? What the hell is going on? Anyway, so, yeah, and to be honest, I was surprised by that experience and the experience of people I knew. I actually met a girl at the bus stop one time. It was beautiful. Black girl who said she lived in that neighborhood her whole life. She bused like 3 hours a day to get to school. She worked her ass off, and all she wanted to do was get out of there. And she said, "Why are you living here?" And unlike the other people, it wasn't for the same reason. She was like, "These people hate white people. You ought to find another poor neighborhood to live in, save your money there, because it might not even be safe here. And now I wasn't in no, Bronx or Detroit. I wasn't even in a place like that. I mean, this was Florida, y'all. It was, a city that is, I've heard that it's majority black. I mean, I just know that wherever I've been my whole life, I've either been around mostly black people or a mix of everybody. Sometimes mostly Hispanic, depends exactly where in the cities or towns you live in. But yeah, that's it, guys. So well, that's not it, but that's the backstory. So what I want to say is, this is the truth about racism in America. People talk about all this, covert, subconscious, microaggression BS. Like, how is that? You don't gotta look for microaggressions to find real racism. White people are so not racist. This idea that white people are the most racist is a joke. I'm probably getting a lot of flack for saying this, but I don't care. Cut off, you guys. So I'm going to mash these videos together. But yeah, basically what I was saying was that from my perspective, and I think from a lot of people's perspectives, the most racist people in this country are not all, but many African Americans. I mean, I used to work most places I've worked, I've been a minority as a white person. That's not a bad thing. I like working with, what the fuck was that? I like working with whoever, as long as they're decent people. Well, one time I worked in this hell of a store. It was majority black, but these were like people, those like light-skinned black people, they're like a crisis of identity. So like they make everything about their blackness because they can't handle the fact that like they don't completely belong to one race or another. Some of them were like that, and some of them, they were all just a bunch of racists. Every time they opened their mouths, white people this, white people doing that. White people are less attractive, they're less strong, they're less evolved. All this crazy stuff. Yeah, fuck you too, bitch. It's not my fault the roads in Maryland are so convoluted. I don't know how anybody gets anywhere. Yeah, and it was like, and in the same breath, it would be like, they start talking about how they're a victim, how white people are racist, and they went to I went to the grocery store the other day, and this old white lady looked at me with the side eye, and I'm like, maybe she looked at you with the side eye because she was just looking at you. Maybe she was looking at you because she was judging you for some other reason. Or maybe you was acting all stank face, because I know this bitch. She walks around with a stank face all the time, acting angry. And then if someone looks at her funny and they're white, she's like, oh, these damn white people always give me dirty looks. Maybe she's giving you a dirty look because you're a horrible person. Maybe that's why. I don't know. I just think, for some reason, sometimes, if I'm an asshole to somebody, it happens. If I'm a jerk to somebody, it's very often because I don't like them or because they're an asshole too. Or an asshole. I don't consider myself an asshole. If I'm acting like an asshole, it might be because they're an asshole. It might be because they deserve it. Not everything that happens to you is because of your race. And I would think that is a no-brainer. But, that's just how it is in our world right now, in our country. And this is why I don't really like dealing with Western people. I know I'm an American, and I'm not ashamed of that. But certainly, I ain't ashamed to be an American. I ain't going to apologize for who I am, whether that's my race or my nationality or what have you. However, those of y'all who don't know me, I speak a few Asian languages, and I just so happen to spend most of my time with Asians and other non-Americans. I'm not talking about these ABCs like they was born here and all that. I'm talking about like real Chinese people and stuff. I'm married to one too. And you know why you never see Chinese people on the news crying about racism? Because if someone's rude to them, they deal with it. They don't cry and go on the news, oh my god, it's so hard being Asian in America, everybody hates me. No, they don't. And they don't care. I've asked Asian people about this, and the majority of them will tell you, if someone is racist, what the hell has it got to do with me? Is me whining about racism going to put money in my pocket? Well, it might if you're a professional agitator. There's people making Black Lives Matter, making billions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars off, pretending like everybody's racist and telling white, And this is the thing: if America was really racist, if white America was really racist, why would we be going to all these anti-racist trainings? Why would that white fragility piece of garbage book be a #1 bestseller? Why would white people be online apologizing for who they are? Why would they be putting themselves in such a position of shame and self-deprecation for their whiteness in order to be non-racist if they were racist, if they were so horrible? If we were actually racist, you think we would give a shit? If somebody thinks we're racist, no, we wouldn't. And my last point, why does it matter? And this is something that nobody ever brings up. It's like, why does it matter if someone's racist? It's not that it's good. It's not that we should think it's okay but forcing people to use certain language or not use certain language or behave a certain way or apologize for things they didn't do, that's not going to make people less racist. That's going to make people more racist. If you tell a white person day in and day out that they're racist, no matter what they do, they may have never done nothing to nobody, but for some reason they're still a racist secretly. They may not know it, they may not think it, but they are. You tell people that. You tell someone all day, every day, no matter what they do, that they're a racist, and they start, doing all this stuff to try to prove that they're not, and you say, oh, no, you still are. If that happens, eventually there comes a point where a lot of people, they're going to say, screw it, okay, fine, I'm a racist, and they're not going to go out of their way, they're not going to stop, they're going to say racist stuff if they want to, they're going to make racist jokes if they want to, they may still not be a real racist, but they're not going to, if you're going to call them that no matter what. It's like when you have a kid, and you tell that kid they're a fuck up, and you tell them they're messing up, no matter what they do, they could have straight A's, and you tell, oh, you always fucking up, you never doing the right thing. Eventually, they're going to say, fine, I'm not going to waste my time trying to do the right thing. I'm going to go smoke some pot with my friends, I'm going to go party, I'm going to get drunk, I'm going to lose my virginity, I'm going to do whatever I got to do to have fun. I don't need to study and do homework, because if I study and do homework, spend all those hours toiling away at the desk, I still get told I'm a fuck up. So if you tell a white person about how good of a person they are, about what they've done for society and for their family and themselves, that they're a racist, horrible person because of their skin color, they're eventually not even going to try to look like a non-racist. That's just that. And to reiterate my last point, why does it matter? It matters, but it doesn't matter to the extent that people think it does. Why is racism the end-all be-all of bad shit? You got sexual trafficking, pedophilia, children being kidnapped and sold into sexual trafficking. You got, I made a post about this on Facebook to my, probably 9 people that still follow me. Since I posted some conservative shit, they all had a cow and unfollowed me or deleted me. It's pretty hilarious. I made a post about this, We're out here whining about microaggressions and, being misgendered and shit. You know what? You can call me a fucking he, she, purple dinosaur, whatever. I don't give a fuck. You can think white people are less strong than black people. I don't think it's okay. My problem is that society says that that's okay, but it's not okay the other way around. None of it's okay. Racism is fucking racism, y'all. But why is, you can do all of that. I don't care. I'm living my life. I know who I am. What I care is, can my kids that I don't actually have yet, can they be safe? Can I be safe? Can I live a good life? Can the people around me live a good life? And before y'all come on my comments and say, well, the people of color cannot live a good life because they're all in poverty in the south side of Chicago. No, most of them are not. And do you know how many people have come out of the ghetto and done good for this world? And, at the very least made a lot of money for themselves? Or they moved and just, moved to a safer area? This idea, this bigotry and low expectations is absurd. This, all black people are poor. They can't vote because they can't manage to get an ID. That's a slap in the face. If I was black and someone told me the government's trying to keep me from voting because they require you to have an ID, that doesn't make any. And the only alternative to that, other than not IDing people, which would involve a lot of voter fraud, is fingerprinting. And ain't nobody most of the country is not going to agree to have their fingerprints taken by the government for that reason, for voting. But I mean, I don't think that's an idea that most people have thought of. I know they're doing that in some of the poorer countries where people, the government literally doesn't issue IDs. But yeah, like this bigotry and low expectations is absurd. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like all black people are impoverished and incapable and uneducated. That's stupid. That's just, it's racism. But why is, I mean, that's literal racism. You want to talk about racism, that's racism. But you know, I'd rather be on a line speaking out or in person, in real life, this place that we actually live in. I'd rather be out here helping people in whatever way I can, helping the elderly, helping the actual impoverished people, you know, teaching a kid how to play a sport, teaching a kid how to do math. Why don't you do some of that? You act like you care about people. Now, you only care about people when a white person does something to somebody and you decide that it's racism. A white person has a stank face. White person goes around like, you know, a basic white chick is in the Starbucks like, excuse me, can I get my pumpkin spice latte? And then you got people, oh, this white bitch has an attitude. Get out of here, guys. Come on. That's about it, y'all. I just needed to rant about that. I'm not going to make a lot of videos about racism or, you know, lack thereof, really. This ghost that we followed around. Fucking ghost hunter ass shit. I'm not going to make a lot of videos about it because it's just stupid. It's a non-issue for 99.9% of America. You want to see racism? Go to South Africa. Go to basically anywhere in the third world. And you got racism from everybody to everybody. You go to Africa. You got tribes killing other tribes because their nose looks a little different. Oh, there's big nose people got to get killed by the small nose people. That's what they're doing. You want to talk about genocide and racism? Go to Africa. They still got slavery. They got slavery in Pakistan. And then they say, oh, well, it's indentured servitude because they got to pay to be free. You think the slaves couldn't have paid to get free? They were allowed to pay for their freedom if they had the money, but they didn't because they were slaves. It's the same thing you got in Pakistan, same thing you got in modern day Africa, same thing you got in the Middle East and North Africa. Literal slavery. You got slavery in the U.S., but it ain't what y'all think. It's sexual trafficking and children being kidnapped and sold for sex. That's disgusting. Disgusting. So until any of y'all asses want a virtue signal about that shit, I'm not going to listen to nothing about the stank-eyed basic white person in the Starbucks with a slide, you know, the Karen with an attitude problem. I don't give a shit about Karen. That's it. Bye.